Hello everyone and welcome to my new video that I'm doing. Because literally nobody asked for it, I'm going to do a sort of review thing on RPG Maker VX Ace, which is always what we have here. I actually bought it in the Christmas Steam sale, and I think I got it for half price. That's right, I got it for half price when it was reduced by 50%. And since then, obviously, I've been doing some, if any of you have been following, I've been obviously trying to create a game on it, which is all very interesting and such. Obviously, recently I haven't had time to do much to it because I do have a lot of work going on. But considering how successful the other video was, and how obviously interested people were to see it, and how there isn't much of a review on YouTube, I thought I'd take it upon myself to do it a bit more, to show you some of the things that are new. I'm trying to remember if I actually did use the original VX RPG Maker. Now I can't tell you that I did. I'm pretty sure the last one I used was XP. So for me, there's obviously quite a lot of changes. Actually, no, I must have had to go with VX because they had the quick event creations in that one as well. But that's a really useful thing that they have done, and they've carried on to do through to Aces, obviously, to have these quick ones. Obviously, sometimes you're going to need to modify these anyway, but they are very useful themselves. It does give you a lot of different options if you just want to just do something quickly, just to make sure that everything's working and above board. Here we have a section of the main of the world map that, if you've seen my demo video or played the demo, then obviously you will know about this. And a bit further down here we have a bit that you probably, you might have seen in the end of the demo. So we have these two here. This is also obviously a bit of behind the scenes going on now, so you get to actually see what I'm doing, or what else I have been doing for the game. There's still a lot I need to do, so that's not don't be expecting too much so far. These bits here will be for the character's base for a start, and here we also have the dungeon, which they have to go through in order to reach the hideout. It's going to be sort of like a mini sort of side quest thing going on, and it will be optional. You won't have to do it. I don't think so anyway. Maybe, it depends. But it would just be useful for a place to have obviously base camp, and there'll be merchants there, or places where you can buy weapons and heal your characters. And another thing is obviously to add to the story, so the current party members will be in their respective areas, and you'll be able to talk to them, much like, say, you could on Final Fantasy X on the airship, that sort of thing. So I actually use this using the dungeon generator. So what I do is I'll just create a new map. I'm not overly sure it matters how big it is, but what should we do? 30 by 30. We'll call it cave. So this is going to be a cave, for example. Dungeon. You can obviously make your own dungeon, and there are all these different things you can do. You can specify the battle back. So if we were going to do that, we'd have dirt cave and dirt cave. So that'd be a dirt cave, and you can obviously change the bottoms. You can have things that really don't look like they match up, and other things that look like they do. If we can have an ice cave, I think we'll go with there's lava cave as well. Getting a bit carried away now. We'll just go with dirt cave. So that's obviously the battle back that's going to appear if you have encounters in there. So that gives you the option to have them. Disable dashing. You can also, I don't remember this being one of the things you could do, although it might be, where you can actually, if you hold down the shift button, you can actually run with your characters, much like, I suppose, a running shoes aspect on Pokemon. But my game is almost exclusively non-dashing, so there might be a couple of levels where there is, for timed levels and such. Do we need a... No, we don't actually. We don't want them. That's for areas which don't have any tiles on them. So, for example, you could have like a space map that's only got a very small amount of floor tiles, but then it would have that on the background. So that would be part of the... It wouldn't be able to be walked upon, however, but it would be there just to add to the theme of the game. And notes is where you can add different script calls. So, for example, you get a fog effect by doing it that way if you have the correct script in place and such. So that's all very handy. This changes the background music. So, dungeon music. This is just the bass ones that come with it. I'm not sure what really sounds like a dirt cave. Actually, I've got that one in my game, haven't I? I'll have that one. It sounds rather regal. And this changes the sort of, obviously, sound effects. So we've got darkness, strips, quake. I'm not really sure too many of them fit in with my dirt cave, so we'll take them out. And this is where you obviously get to decide what animals are in there. Encounters, sorry. So obviously we want bats in there because it's a cave. So we'll have 7, and then because they're fighting a skeleton army, I guess. But obviously there won't be as many in there, so we'll have 4. So you got obviously a lot more chance of fighting a bat than a skeleton. 30 steps average for a 30 by 30 map. That should be okay. Ooh, don't need that on, do I? So there we go. And this will give you your 30 by 30 map. What you can then do is right click on the cave map, and you can ask it to generate a dungeon. And this is where you get to pick what the dungeon's made out of. So we've got some sort of icy thing here and rocks and stuff. But we're also going to do a dirt, and we're going to have dirt floor as well. So that's already done. Obviously you can mix and match if you want. And obviously you can create your own dungeon anyway and have that how you want to do it. So there we go, it's come with my dungeon. A very small dungeon. But obviously it's one of those things that you can expand at will anyway. It's just a matter of finding the right bit, going on to the mode, and then digging it out. Basically, I think I've gone on the wrong bit. Yeah, I need to go on that bit. There we go. And as you can see, that will create you more space, and then you just put the wall in, and that way it's just a bit more. You can create it how you want from there, or you could just simply the whole map as the top of this top area, and then just put the ground in as you see fit from there. And I've also used the wrong wall. That was clever of me. So in that way it's easy, and it also gives you a bit of randomness to the dungeon, which you might have obviously find a bit of difficulty in doing. Because it's not the easiest thing ever. And then you've got these things that you can use to stop your adventurers from getting around, which is always useful. And then just temptingly you can stick a treasure chest in there that has 1 million gold in. Oh no, that has 100,000 gold in. And he's really confused because he can't get to it. Then obviously you could create an event that says if they defeat the boss here, that then disappears, and they can go and get the treasure. Wondering if I should show you how to do that or not. I'm not sure it's that important, just that it can be done, as opposed as the actual thing. I mean, I'm not doing a tutorial or anything, I'm just doing a review of the features. So, but if you want me to do a tutorial, if you can stand the sound of my voice for that long, or want me to go through anything, then obviously I will do. Trying to think what else we have that is quite interesting. Well, I'll show you the event page. Ooh, I will show you the event page. Now, it may look very complicated, and it is fairly so. We've got priority, which means where the event takes place. Does it take place underneath the characters, the same level as the characters, or above the characters? So birds, grass, other characters, basically. Sort of like that. The trigger is how it happens. So does the player touch it? Does the player press the action button? Does it auto-run when you're in the area of the event? Or does it run alongside other events? I think that one is. That's the impression I have from the last one anyway. This is where you pick what the event is. So obviously we've got doors and stuff there, which are covered. Some of them are covered by the door event anyway, which is quite useful. And you can have bits on the tile set that are interactable also. So that's quite useful as well. I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm not really going to go through creating an event, but it gets easier the more you do it, obviously. And it's almost exactly the same as what's come previously. They've not really changed too much. There might be more options. I don't really remember. But there's so much that you can do pretty much whatever you want to do. It just takes time to get to that point, obviously. Like for one example I have with the boat, it took me quite a while to do it, but I am quite happy that I have done it. It might be something which you might be sitting there thinking, that's incredibly easy to do, but I've got it so the ship appears on whichever side you have moved across to, and then the respective sailor on either side. So we've got him on one side of the ocean and the captain on this side of the ocean. Alternatively, they then allow you to swap between taking the ship between the continent, and it shows the graphic of the ship moving across. I might actually show that at the end, because I'm quite proud of how I did that. Actually, it takes a lot of time and effort. I think it took me about an hour to do, but I was going quite slow, and I'm not really overly confident how to do it. But this is one of the really good things that they have in VX8. I'm not sure if it was in VX as well. I don't think it was. But it allows you to generate characters. So the face and obviously the sprite as well, the battler. Obviously the characters are fairly generic looking, which obviously isn't brilliant, but it does give you a huge amount of customization options, which is very useful, because you want to obviously try and distinguish as much as you can from the pre-used ones for your for the main characters at least anyway, which is what I have done as much as possible. And it does give you a lot of different options for customizing, which are all good in their own way, I suppose. I've got an elf, a lady, evil elf. And obviously I'm just actually randoming now, so no beard with things. So yeah, anyway, I mean, you click the random button and you could pick one of them if you wanted to, or you can fine tune it yourself. It then allows you to take the face and the character out and put it into your game itself, which obviously, there was people given there was certain Japanese websites you could go to, and I went to in the past anyway to get mine. So as you can see, mine's done in a Red Knight sort of fashion there. It's obviously a bit more of a sneak preview. You get to see all the different characters. But then again, if you've read the the Greenlight page, all them are on there with their description and what they do. You've then also got the classes, which you can customize everything from how the different attributes grow, what level they learn their skills. And you don't have to do what level they learn their skills. You can obviously change that. From a certain event, they can learn different skills, and if they have a certain a weapon, so for example, only someone with a sword can use this skill, for example. Only someone with this summon skill type can use that, and it's just various things like that are quite useful. You then get to obviously make your own items. Key items as well, which obviously do nothing but trigger certain events at certain times. Make your own weapons as well. Obviously, anyone that's seen this, I don't think there's any much new going on really on here for anyone to get too excited about. You're then obviously creating your own animations, which it took me a long time. I'm not sure if I'm doing it wrong, but you only have a maximum of 200 frames, which it's not brilliant for me wanting to. It's not brilliant for me wanting to make like summon animations, because I'm sort of limited to that 200 frames, which is a bit of a shame. You then have obviously common events and just different things you can change there to make it more sort of unique in its own way. And obviously all that's standard on RPG Maker anyway. I'm not sure if there's anything else of note that I can really say between those different. No, not at all. Okay. That's what we'll do is I will show you we'll go through the game a little bit, and I'll obviously show you the ship movement thing that I've done, because I'm fairly proud of it. If you're not interested in seeing that, I suggest you switch off now. And if you are going to, thank you very much for having watched the little bit of review I've done, just to sort of try and show you a few of the features that VX Ace has, and hopefully I've told you what there is new between VX and VX Ace. I'm not sure if I have gone through everything, but that's what I've noticed anyway between the two. So I'm going to be playing the game now and showing the ship. So here we go. No. In case I've made any fatal errors, we'll have to see. Where's my continuing point? We'll just go. We're not going to be fighting anybody anyway, so. Yeah, it's another thing to do. If something doesn't work, for example, the changing of where you've placed your character, it is almost certainly to do with the fact that you've not saved before you've gone in. And of course, he's transparent as well. See, I make all these changes because obviously last time I actually played for it was for the demo, so I had to make sure everything was working correctly. And now I'm messing it up again, so if I have to release another demo version, that would be a bit problematic. So in order to unlock the event that allows the player to use the ship, he first has to talk to the prince, which is seen here rallying his troops. And I forgot to disable the dash button on this particular map. And we'll just skip through all the chatter. But what this actually does is it turns a switch on which enables an event to take place. And the event that takes place is the option to use the ship from the captain. It also triggers this event as well, where the two main characters talk. It's just a chance for them the player to learn a bit more about the main characters, really. Even though he's not actually in the party, which I should probably change to make sure he's in the party as well. But then again, you can't really get to this point without him having been in the party. So, I don't know. Anyway, so this enables the ship captain. Yeah, it enables you the option to sail on the ship. And you press yes. Now, normally, obviously, players might have already gone and spoke to him before, and he would have said, "I'm not ready to sail on him." But the switch then triggers this, and then as soon as the ship lands, it then turns off that trigger. It then turns off that switch, sorry, but turns on the switch on this side, which allows the player to travel back. So I click yes, and then we board the ship, and the ship travels all the way back. And at that point, the switch for the ship to go to the other side turns back on, and you're then given the option to travel the other way. And it only works on either side. If this switch is not on, then the captain will say the ship's not here, and if the switch is on, then it allows you to obviously travel over to the other side, and so on and so forth. It just keeps working like that in a loop. So I'm quite proud of having done that. I know it might be a very simple thing to do or whatever. I was originally trying to do it with just one event, which is a bit silly of me, but instead I have two now working side by side. And that's just basically how I did that. If you want the scripting for it, I can scripting. If you want the event log, I can supply that if you're really desperate for that one, because it is not the easiest thing to do in the world. And I don't really think there's anything more to say on that one. It's just an interesting bit that I just wanted to show. And I think this review has probably gone on just a little bit too long. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope you really enjoyed this little review that I've done, and I hope you find it quite useful. So thank you very much for watching, guys. And there'll be more obviously coming up soon. Goodbye.